Okay, so this week marks the first week of 2023 to be but first let's check the time sorry, the date range here. All right, it's 23 to 27. 1, 2, 3. This is actually the fourth week, my bad. So the fourth week is my first winning week this 2023. So congratulations to me. So I'm gonna break down what happened this week. So as we can see here, we have GJ, we have uh, US500, we also have gold. So it's quite um, diverse this week. Anyway, so let's start with this one. This is so the first one was GJ. That was Monday, January 23. All right, there's a trade. So this trade was taken actually in the 15 minute, if I remember correctly. Oops, I lost it. Okay. Yes, on the 15 minute. So the price rebounded from here on the support, right? So I was waiting for um actually I could have bought around here, right? This could have been a really good entry here. So but what I did is that I waited for, because I missed this one, I waited for the next candle to break this, the high of this previous 15 minute candle, and then I bought. So that's what happened. But this was so it from here it appeared like I caught the top, right? Well, somehow I did, but so and this is what happened. Why I closed during that time. So the next 5 minute candle after the entry, it actually broke the low of the previous one. If this had, if this candle closed bearish, right, I would have actually closed um my trade on the next 5 minute if the next 5 minute broke the low of that candle, right? But it flipped back. This 5 minute flipped back to become a bullish candle, right? So let's see what time I closed. 51:44, 51. Okay, and then this candle, this 5 minute candle. So when this candle opened, the way it moved, it's not really something. It doesn't sit well with me the way it moved. So when I look back on the left hand side of the chart, it was because that area, that zone, was also previously a resistance and support zones before. So chances are it might rebound from there and go back down. So I just close right there and gain 177. That's okay. And right, so the same day, 23, this was US 500. Okay, let's go back to 15 minute. All right, so this trade was also taken in the 15-minute candle, right? So this is a resistance. So the original zones, the original um zone was this. So this was my no trade zone during this time. So I was waiting for a candle to break, to close, to break and close above or below this zone, right? And then this happened, right? Um, so my so I was so that's my confirmation for a buy, but I need the next candle, right? I would execute my buy if a candle breaks the high of this. So obviously the next 15-minute candle wasn't able to do that, so I entered on the next one. So that's a buy, and let's switch to 15 minutes. So every after trade that I have, I switch back to the 5 minute time frame so that I can see what's really happening down there, and I can possibly um, spot whether or not it's really going my way. Okay, so this is the 5 minutes. So this is my entry. The next 5 minute was okay. The next 5 minute. This time I was quite afraid that what happened in GJ might happen again here, right? Because this was also this area here, as you can see, was a resistance, right? was a resistance. I could have waited, you know, this is just because we are seeing what the actual outcome was, right? But during this time, right now I can say that I could have waited for this 5 minute candle to close and make my decision, right? Um, Either way, if I really waited for this, I would have closed uh, when this candle slow was broke. So I think it's pretty much in the same area. Anyway, um, so yeah, let's see in the 15 minute if that was really the case. Yeah, so because that area is also this um, resistance here, right? So if I really wanted to go with this one, which I can, this is New York session by the way. This could have been a nice confirmation for a buy, right? Nice confirmation. And if I have just enough capital, I would have held my buy position, and my stop loss would be all the way down here, right? But the moment I see this candle, the moment I see this candle forming something like this, oh, hold on, this is because there's news. Yeah, this is because there's news. Anyway, if there's no news, right? If there's no volatility like this, I would have taken the buy here with a stop loss around here. Okay, and I will stop managing my risk once I saw this two bearish candle form like this. Okay, I would have moved my stop loss on this area. And continuing, right? The moment it broke the previous high, because I think this was the daily high. Yes, I think this was the daily high. That's right. That was the daily high. So every time it hits the high, especially on times of volume like New York session, New York open, expect that even if there's no news, right? I have to expect that there will be there will be a I think I shouldn't use the word expect, but I would say it will be a better confirmation for me if so once the daily high is broken, I should wait for a resistance to form and the price to break the high again. Then the support will then be my stop loss. I think that should be it. I remember during this time I was, thinking about putting in another buy once it breaks this, and that would have been really a good decision. Um, but it is actually during my bedtime, so you know, even if I place a trade, I don't think I have enough energy to watch the market. Anyway, so that's Monday. Um, Tuesday I wasn't able to trade. I was doing something else. I was busy. So Wednesday, 25. That's US 500 still. And let's see the time. That's pre-New York. Pre-New York. And that's here. Okay. So, all right. So during this time, well, it's quite visible, right, that the recent direction is bearish, and there is a support formed here. And the moment I saw this 15-minute candle, bearish candle, respecting the high of this, so this is bearish, right? Um, so I have like a bearish bias during this time, and I was just waiting for a resistance to be formed before I can before I can put in a trade for it to continue moving down, right? Um, so this one, that's a really good confirmation. So I was waiting for another one, and this one happened, right? So it leave the wick, bottom wick. So there will be there's a bearish pressure. That's what I learned. Um, so and then on the next candle, switch on the 5 minute. This is 25. All right, here. Okay. So I saw this candle break the high of this, right? But I'm still bearish on this one. Um, it was just it was just like lucky timing, right? I don't remember planning to click a sell once it breaks the high of this. I don't remember anything or such. Um, I just know that this is going to be that my plan will be a sell, right? And I'm pretty confident because if I lose, it's going to be just like 28 or 278 or 27 pips, right? And I only have like one micro lot, so that's okay. So yeah, sell. The next candle was good. I closed before I hit my target. I remember my target was around here, if I'm not mistaken, 39.80. The low of this is 39.81. So originally my target is actually the low of this. Um, but yeah, I closed just before that one. That's still a win. And then the day after, 26th, still pre New York. Oh, actually around the same time. Pre New York, 15. Okay, this is the one, right? This is a sell. There you go. This is a sell. Um, all right. So yeah, so it's quite the same as what happened the day before, right? It was there was a short bearish move, although this one is much shorter than the than yesterday. Um, so yeah, it's the same thing. I was waiting for resistance to be formed, and next candle that will break the resistance. That will be my sell confirmation. So I executed that there, right? And I sold. Sorry, I closed. So let's see the 5 minute here. Okay, so the 5 minute is something that is something that's not in my favor, right? So there was a bullish candle, and then the next 5 minute candle respected the low. If this could have broken the low, then that might have given enough room for the next candles to move down. But no, it respected the low and actually moved back up a little bit, and then it closed bearish, right? And so on the next candle, I just decided to just close this. So I ended up breaking even on that trade. And then later that day, there was another trade. This time it was a buy. And you can actually see right here why it was a buy. Because this was my zone, and this is my no trade zone, right? So I was waiting for a candle to break this. So what time was this one? Still pre-New York. Okay. So this is an impulse entry, I would say. Impulse. Let's see, my stop loss was 427. No. Um, okay. I think that was because I was trying to break even here. But I think my stop loss could have been here or here. But I think it was for on this area here. Okay. So this was a buy. The next 5 minute candle. So it's quite an impulse entry, right? Because I did not wait for a candle to close above this one. Um, Now that I'm looking at this one, I think I missed something here because if this wasn't an impulse entry, I would have waited for this one to close, form support like this. The next candle that will break it, that's my buy. And I would have caught this candle instead if I waited for confirmation, right? But I entered on a an impulse, right? An impulse here. Um, so I stopped. I closed this trade because of this candle respecting the high. But really during this time, I know I was pretty ahead of the trade, right? Because as you can see, I am already in break even. I moved myself, sorry, my stop loss and my entry. That's already a break even, so I'm not really gonna lose this trade anyway, right? So looking at this one, I could have waited for this next candle to really do something, and I could have added more position. Adding more position is something that I haven't really tried. It's something that I want to practice as well. But looking at this, I could have added more position right here because if I waited for confirmation, this is supposed to be my entry, right? This has been my entry. So yeah, if I added position here, I could have ended winning more. But yeah, a win's a win. And then Friday, I have three trades. First one is break even. Yeah, first one was break even. I think in the 5 minute. Yeah, this candle kind of flipped, right? So I just decided to break even right here. Um, and the next candle right here, and the next trade, this was my only loss this week. I put a buy stop order here, I remember, and I was very zoomed in on the chart, very zoomed in at the 5 minute like this. I think it was something like this, very zoomed in, right? And when you're zoomed in, so I think I place my yeah, so I place my buy stop right here. If you're this zoomed in and the price is still right about this area, it doesn't seem like it's going to be triggered because the price is pretty far um, from my buy stop, right? That's 100, that's 119 points. So I place a buy stop right there, and when I switched to the trade tab, I just noted that was actually triggered. Um, I didn't know that it was triggered, so to be honest, I quite panicked right there. I didn't know that it's going to be triggered. The next candle I could have closed break even, but because this that buy stop is actually um, um, a break, right? A break for the previous candle. So I think it was a really good um, buy during this time around, right? So that's why I wait for this candle to form. Um, it did respect the low, but at the same time, it did not break the high. And also, there's no top wick, right? So the pressure is going down. So yeah, on the next 5 minute, I decided to close this. So that's my only loss. And then the last trade was on gold. It was on gold right here. So I think it's pretty obvious right here. So there's a zone right here, right? This red line. 5 minute candle breaking that one. Uh, so I was watching the stream of Donwo during this time. So I think he opened his buy, triggered his buy right here, and I was a little doubtful of that buy because for me I would have waited for the next candle to break it, and the next candle did break it. But it was pretty erratic, right? Volatile, very volatile, right? And obviously because this is time of volume as well. So so what I did is that I waited for a few more 5 minute candles to form a resistance, and that's what happened here. So the sell, um, I triggered right here because this candle during this time it really acted like it's gonna form a resistance right here. But nevertheless, I did not wait for resistance to form. Actually, I was anticipating, I was predicting, and I would say I got lucky uh on that one because this could have closed bullish, right? And yeah, that would have I would have been in a bigger drawdown during that time. So yeah, I put in a sell, and I think it was a pretty premature close during this area, right? Because it was about to reach the support, right? So now that we have the chance to look back what happened here, if I can if I can redo this trade, if I can redo this trade, I would move my break even. I would move my stop loss to break even, right? And I will add another position the moment the next candle breaks the the lows of the previous candle. I think it was something right here, right? And a stop loss will be all the way up here, right? Or maybe the high of this 5 minute candle, right? Okay. So yeah, it's 320. That's still okay for me, especially this small account. So yeah,